This is the Simpit. I'm your host, Sean Cole, but today I'm here to take a look at the first week in the iRacing Fixed NASCAR Truck Series and how things worked out for me. Now, I'm not going to look at every race in great detail, but we are going to go through each race and look what I did good, look what I did bad, and what we can learn from it. And we're also going to take a look at the points for each race, how they played out by the end of the week, and how I'm doing in the series overall. That is the point of the whole thing. Last week we were running at Texas, and in practice and qualifying I knew I would be dealing with a loose truck and pretty significant tire wear. And each race I'm really going to focus on that. I'm going to do my best to protect my tires and my trucks and hopefully do well on long runs. Now, something else that I really want to pay attention to before each race, I want to look at what number is painted on my door, or in other words, what is my room ranking. I want to look at what my starting position is. Can I benefit from charging hard at the beginning, or am I better off laying back at the back a little bit and let the race come to me? And these are important decisions. You don't want to just go charging into every race. You want to do things that are smart, focus on what can be gained, and how to maximize that on track. Now, starting off with my first race, I'm going to actually admit it happened by accident before my qualifying run, which should never happen. So there's a lesson right there. I had clicked the quick start. I thought I was joining qualifying, and as it turned out, I jumped into a race that I wasn't even ready for. I made the top split and therefore started at the back of the grid in 15th with a room ranking of 13. I knew right away against this crowd and with my last place start that I would just take it easy and see if I could let the race come to me. Save those tires and hopefully others won't. By lap 11, I was starting to move through the grid. Each couple of laps, I was able to pick up another driver as the race continued caution-free. And by the end of the race, I had moved my way into an 8th place finish, which I was fairly happy with for a first race. Now, looking at the points from this race, the race strength of field was a 28.43, well above mine, and therefore a mid-pack finish wouldn't be too bad. I ended up getting 27 iRating points gained to 2075 and earned 88 championship points. I got 0 incidents and saw a jump to 4.09 on my safety rating. The second race was again the top split, and this time I actually did get my qualifying run in and I would be starting in 6th place. Now, I had a room ranking of 17, the last position on this grid, and that is a maximum setup for getting points. Now, when the race started, I missed the green flag a little bit and fell back to 7th place. 5 laps into the race, the 12 truck gets a little loose off 2 and does a great job of saving it. This puts us 2 wide going into 3, me on the outside lane. Then coming off of turn 4, I get a bit loose myself and have to avoid the wall, giving up 2 positions. This places me in the middle of 5 cars while running in 8th position. A few laps later, I swing wide again off of 4, allowing the 3 truck to get under me. I overcorrect and slap the wall, and the 10 truck goes by as well. A few laps later, there is a huge pileup. I do a fine job of avoiding the wreck, and I have an opportunity to have my pit crew fix some minor damage on the truck. Once again on the next restart, I blew it and fell back to 7th place. Then on lap 17, I once again push wide, this time coming off 2 and slam the wall hard again. I immediately pulled the truck way low to prevent a pileup of cars behind me. And I take my time to survey the damage and the handling of the truck. I ended up driving that beaten up truck all the way to the end of the race, which did finish under caution. I finished in 11th place, which wasn't terrible considering the way it played out. The strength of the field in that room was 29.96, again well above mine. But with this finish, it only earned me 6 iRating, taking me to 2081, and it earned me 70 championship points. I had 2 incidents and saw no change in my safety rating. The third race ended up being the second split. I started on the pole with a room ranking of number 1. Now, this is a great scenario to potentially win the race, but it's also the worst scenario when it comes to points, with me basically having the most points to lose of everybody in the room. I got a great start, maybe even jumped it slightly, and got a nice lead to start out the race. Things were great until on lap 13 I got very loose mid-corner between 3 and 4, and this allowed the second place truck to easily go by. Things go well for a while until on lap 26 a beat-up car self-spins and brings out a much unwanted caution. I chose to go into the pits for tires, meanwhile others didn't. I ended up restarting in 8th place with only 4 to go on the restart. Every car in front of me was restarting on 31 lap old tires. On the restart, a few cars spun the tires. There was a massive accordion effect that caused a pileup. I tried to go through the wreck, but got clipped and sent into the wall. I ended up finishing in 7th place on those brand new tires, again under caution. Now the room strength of field for this race was 1545, a little bit lower than mine. My 8th place finish earned me 9 iRating points, moving me to 2090, and I got only 64 championship points. I ended up with 4 incidents and took a .08 hit to my safety rating, dropping me to 4.01. In race 4, I made the top split again, starting in 8th position with the 10th ranked truck. Believe it or not, on the green flag, once again, I missed the beat. I don't know what my problem was this week, but I just kept missing the flag. I lost 2 spots right away. Coming off of turn 2, the number 2 truck slams into the outside wall. I try to go by and he clips my rear quarter as he comes off the wall. This sends me right into the outer wall, causing massive damage to the truck. I do manage to stay up on the wall, preventing any further wrecks or bringing out a caution. I end up limping that truck home to a 14th place finish. The room strength of field was 2462, and I took an iRating hit of 28, dropping me to 2062. I earned only 43 championship points. I had 3 incidents and dropped another .44 to only a 3.57. In race 5, I made the second split out of 4 total. I had a room ranking of number 2, and that's exactly where I'd be starting, on the outside of the front row. I got yet another terrible restart, and I immediately dropped back to 4th position. A few laps later, I was able to move back into 3rd place. Lap 7 brought out a caution. Me and the leader stayed out, but many others didn't. The restart on lap 10 saw me miss the drop of the flag again. By lap 28, it was down to me and the leader with a good advantage over 3rd place. Then coming off a 2 while trying to hold me off, he comes up into the wall, taking on a little bit more damage. Meanwhile, I get a run down low and pass him for the lead. I was then able to put it on cruise control and get the checkered flag for my first win of the season. Now that room's strength of field was 1736. And with my win, I got a pickup of 81 iRating up to 2143. I got 109 championship points and perhaps salvaged the week's effort. I got 0 incidents and earned a .10 SR improvement to 3.67. So looking back on the week, I want to talk about a few different things that seemed to go consistently wrong each race, or at least there was a small pattern. I noticed I was always leaving a pretty big gap on the restarts. I wasn't trying to get a jump, but just leaving a gap. Now if I had closed up that distance on the restarts, even if I had missed the drop of the green, I would have probably saved a full car length and maybe not dropped 1 or 2 positions almost every restart. The other was my inability to predict the drop of the green. This comes from knowing the common starting points and keeping a better eye on the cars around me. It also comes down to having quick reaction time, and at times I felt like I was a bit timid. And that leads me to one more observation about my driving. I feel I was being a little bit too timid. I was definitely being too tense, putting too much tension on the wheel, and that is likely to have caused me to get loose on several occasions. With my total championship points of 98 for the week, I ended up in 122nd place in Division 3. Not terrible, but well outside of where I want to be. Now the second race of the season is actually at Phoenix, and I've recruited a little bit of help from a pro driver named Andrew Fiash. He's going to help me out with the driving line and show me the fast way around that track, and I'm going to see if that helps me next week. And I'm definitely going to have to do better if I want to gain about 100 positions to get to where I'd like to be in this series. Now I hope this helped you in some way. Observations about what I've done, maybe helped you out with the truck, maybe helped you out with the point system. If you have any questions, please write them in the comments of this video at our website at the Simpit, and I will do my best to answer all of those questions. This is the Simpit. I'm Sean Cole, and I'll see you on the track.